Nate, obviously you played under PK. You would have been expecting to come up against him this week. What was your reaction to hearing that he'd moved on?
Obviously, I think a bit surprised like everyone else, but yeah, I wish nothing but the best to him. Obviously, your career is pretty short, so you got to make the most of it, and I think it's going to be a good opportunity for him, and hopefully he does well over there.
Is it a big opportunity for you guys this week then? The victory of just lost their coach, who you know so well. For you guys, you're in great form to really maybe get a bit of a jump on him.
Yeah, possibly. I don't think when it comes to match day, I think it's more just like the players on the pitch get the job done. So I don't think much will change in that aspect. But yeah, maybe along the coming months they might change a couple of things. But right now, I don't think much will change. Yeah.
Nate, football, especially Australian football, it's a very small industry. Everyone talks to each other. Did you or any of the boys at City have any inkling that this might happen?
No, not at the time. I think when the news came out, I think a couple of the older boys sent him a message saying congrats on what's going to happen. And yeah, I think obviously to have an overseas opportunity, obviously his last one probably has a bit of a sour taste in his mouth, so he wants to sort of get back and develop. And I think it'll be an exciting time for him and his family.
Mm. I guess, Nate, when a club loses a coach like this, especially before a derby, there's always the potential for a rally around the flag moment, and they come out not disillusioned but angry and with their tails up. Is that something that you have to be prepared for?
Yeah, I think Derby sort of take care of themselves in that aspect. Obviously, it's always a fiery occasion, and you know derbies in itself. There's probably less tactics and more physicality around the game. It's a very hostile sort of thing. So obviously, in the recent years, we've had so much success, and now they're having their success back. They beat us the first derby of the season, and I think they want to continue that momentum, and we obviously want to get the result back in our favour as well. So I think that takes care of itself with the firiness, and obviously they want to come out and prove a point with their new coach, and I'm sure he wants to get off to a good start, and it's up to us to stop that.
A great win a couple of weeks ago, and then last week, basically had the game 1 and 2 happen in stoppage time. So plenty of confidence going into this game.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously we've had a decent start to the season. Probably we've had a couple of disappointing performances. Like within that. But as a whole, our away victories have been good, and obviously if we can build on the sort of the, if you want to say the home form, obviously it's their home game, but in Melbourne, I think it'll be put us in good stead for the rest of the season. Yeah, like I said, we've had a good start, but it can always be better.
How's young Patrick Beach after last week?
Yeah, obviously he was disappointed. I think anyone would be in that sort of situation. But everyone makes mistakes. I've made mistakes in the past that have cost games, and I think you ask any of the boys in the change room, they've been part of that in some point in their career. But yeah, it's part of football. Mistakes happen, and it's up to us to sort of rally around him. And the beauty about football is there's always a game the next week to make things right.
Nate, your own football this year, it feels like you've hardly had a chance to play one position for more than a couple of weeks. You've been all over the park at the moment. We've seen you sort of maybe back at right back recently. Is that where we'll see you for the rest of the season, do you reckon? Or are you the designated Swiss Army knife of this side going forward?
Uh, who knows? To be fair, obviously, I think myself knows, and the coaches know that my best position is in the fullback position. But with the sort of the way the team is at the moment, the injuries that we've had, I've sort of been that one to sort of fill the gap that when something's been needed. I've played a lot of positions in my younger days in my career, so anything. I've come back here to obviously want to win, get Melbourne City back to winning, and if I have to play a different position to make that work, then so be it. But yeah, I think it also comes with a bit of consistency of playing one position. That's when you'll see the best out of me as well. So.
Nate, I know we talked about it at the start of the season, but Socceroos, obviously, I know they're not playing for a couple of months, but playing it right back pretty consistently, you must feel like getting some form there will really help you put your name up in lights for that, especially given that's a position they really have struggled to fill.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's sort of hard to be put your name up in the lights for the Socceroos when you're not playing your natural position. And obviously, being moved back there recently, it will give me some time to get that consistency back and just get the feel of it again. But yeah, like you said, there's not a Socceroos game for a few months now, so it gives time for not just myself but the other boys to build consistency in the game and see what happens then. Yeah.
Because, Nate, since the last time you were in the squad, they've obviously had the change in coaching staff. Arnie leaves, Tony comes in. Have you maybe had a chance to have a chat with Hayden Fox or someone since the change about what they want to see from you to get back into the national setup? Because I've seen Foxy at a bunch of your games already this season.
No, personally, I haven't had any conversations with anyone. I think they're pretty, not cutthroat in that scenario, but they always say it's a blessing to play for the national team and to wear the shirt, and I think it's up to the players to sort of earn that. Nothing's never really given, nothing's really earned on merit these days, and I think they've shown that with the changes that they've made and players that they've brought in. So yeah, I think it's more down to not just myself as a player, but everyone else in the Socceroos also. Yeah.
And we've had a couple of conversations with Vidi about this over the past couple of weeks about how this season, especially like with Azzy's captain and everything, there's been a bit of a change in the dynamic. As somebody who left a title-winning dressing room and has now come back to one that has seen a lot of changeover in personnel, I guess I'm not going to ask they're not better or the other, they're just different. But what are the differences that you've found between the dressing room that you left and the one that you've walked back into?
I think just obviously with the way that the league is at the moment, we've sort of had to rely on a lot of younger players. So there's a lot of fresh young faces coming through. So the change room's definitely a lot younger. I think when I was first coming through, there was probably me and Daniel Lazani, the only ones probably 18 and playing with the first team. But now obviously things change and a lot of players have moved on. Also, like you said, obviously we had a tight knit group we've had a lot of academy players come up and then move through to overseas, and I think that's what the club sort of is focusing on now with bringing more younger players through and hopefully doing that same sort of thing. But obviously it takes time. We went through a lot of struggling years before we won a lot of titles in the last couple, but yeah, nothing much has changed in on the what's expected of the team. We're expected to win every week. We put that on ourselves. So yeah, obviously new coach, new captain, but everything else is the same.
Had they moved down to Casey but when you left, or you had to get used to that after doing the Bandura commute previously?
Yeah, no, we were. I was here, but not with this facility. We were sort of just in like the tin sheds. So everything sort of changed around here in that aspect. Also, it's obviously a good facility and that. So it's a big reason why I wanted to sort of come back to Melbourne City. Obviously, it puts you in a good stead to be the best professional you can be.